And so I called my parents back, and they're like, "Where are you?" And I said, "Bangkok." And then they started laughing. I'm thinking, why are they laughing? And I'm like, oh, it's April Fool's Day.
Oh.
And they think it's a joke. And I'm like, so they start laughing. I say Bangkok, they're laughing. And then I'm like, ha 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 ha, you know? And then like the laughter dies and they're like, where are you really? Bangkok. What is up, guys? And welcome back to the One Night in Bangkok podcast. My name is Eric. I'm all the way from Boston, USA. I'm here with my favorite Bangkok podcast girl, Ern, and we're bringing you all the best people and places and stories from right here in Bangkok, Thailand. If you're coming here soon, if you want to move here, if you want to live here, hit the subscribe button. Check us out on Apple and Spotify podcasts. You can check out our private Facebook group if you want to ask us any questions about moving here or traveling here. The link is down below. Check out our clips channel if you want to just check out short clips from throughout the show every week. And if you want to support us, if you like what we're doing here, buy us a coffee, buy us a drink down below. It's a lot of work putting all these shows together, and we really, really appreciate all of your support. Tonight, we are talking all about, I'm talking about how I ended up here in Thailand. Never thought I'd be living in Bangkok, Thailand, but here we are. And Ern, you are not from Bangkok.
Yes.
You are from Northeast Thailand. And so we're going to talk about how you ended up in Bangkok.
Right.
So we're going to kind of talk about our stories, how we ended up in this city. I think we'll do a whole separate episode just on the story of how this podcast started and kind of the original idea, and then how I met Ern, and then how some of the things unfolded. But for now, tonight, we're going to just talk about kind of how we ended up here.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that my story is very similar to how a lot of people end up in Thailand.
Yeah.
And I also, your story is probably a pretty common one as well from the Thai side, especially if you're a young Thai woman.
Yep.
So let's start with you. Where are you from exactly in Thailand?
I'm from Ubon Ratchathani, Thailand, the northeastern part of Thailand. Yeah.
Is that near Cambodia?
Well, Cambodia and Laos, it depends which part in Ubon.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm in the middle of the city, city girl in Ubon.
Okay. And is Ubon the city or the province?
Let's say province.
Okay.
What's the difference? City and
province is like, you guys do it a little differently here. Okay, so Chonburi is the province. Pattaya is the city. Okay, you don't know. Let's look at it. Someone in the comments is going to correct us, so we'll let them handle it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're it's pretty far away. How far driving is it?
Well, with the car or bus, it would be 7 or 8 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with the flight, it's just an hour.
How do you normally go back and forth?
Well, if I had time, like lots of, day off, 2-3 day offs, I prefer it with the bus because I can take it around like 9 or 10 p.m. and then I will be there in the early morning, like 6 in the morning. So it's cool.
And it's probably a lot cheaper
It's around
too.
just 600 baht.
Okay.
Yeah, so back and forth is like 1,200, so it's really cheap. With the bus, it's called Nakhon Chai Air. Like most of the people who like take bus use this bus station, Nakhon Chai Air. So yeah, they provide like, everything, the blanket, the food, the drinks, and you sleep, and then you wake up with just 600 baht, and then I'm home. It's really good.
So growing up, tell me what it was like where you live. Was it in a house or like on a farm?
It's not in a farm. It's like a house, but it's I'm not sure what in English it's called. It's like village, but it's not like countryside. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like a house, like
how many
house.
floors is the house?
Two floor.
Okay.
But my mom bought the next door house, and then she just like break the walls and connect it together. So it was like 2 houses and 2 floors.
Like on the first floor, the kitchen, is it open to the outside or is it all closed?
It's all closed in the back. Yeah, and yeah, just that it's not outdoor kitchen.
Okay. Yeah, because I've seen some Thai houses where
Well, before it was outdoor kitchen, which I have to wash the dishes and everything outside. When it's cold, I was like freezing and I had to do like my housework stuff. And yeah, and then later on, my mom to change that it's better. Okay, let's do make it like indoor, make it close and then, more private. But before, let's say the basin, the watching part is not like normal like kitchen like this. It's on the the floor.
yeah.
And then with the small thing, I have to like sit down,
Okay.
like a squat to wash the dishes.
Tell me about the bathroom, because that's what I'm always interested in.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand like different people in Thailand have different maybe setups, but I'm thinking of like the country house bathroom. So like, do you have a toilet like this, like a modern toilet, or is it kind of the squat toilet, or is it outside or inside?
Actually, in my hometown in Ubon, I have the house in countryside and also the house in the city.
Yeah.
So in the countryside, it's the squat one
with the bucket.
You have the bucket. So when you like poo, then you have to like, everything is. You have to very like balance yourself a lot. And but it's like I grew up like that. I have no problem with that. But in like my house, like where I live, like my mom lives, it's just the normal one. There's everybody.
What about the shower? Is it a regular shower or is it the bucket shower?
Both. A regular one like this and also the bucket.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, I don't know, we just switch it, but we have both.
So you're saying you have like, you fill the water, the bucket, and you just take a little scoop and you dump it on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done
Actually,
that.
in my house, still haven't got the, make the water warm.
Oh, hot water.
Yeah, no hot water. So we have to boil it and then put in the big bucket and then just...
Yeah, because people think of Thailand as being hot, but where your family's from, it can get pretty cold, right?
Yeah, when it comes to winter or like, some season that it's cold, it's compared to Bangkok, it's very cold, it's like freezing. But my mom just said, I don't want to have that thing. I think it's better we just boil it because it's not like gonna be like cold, like, every day. It's just maybe 2-3 days. We don't need that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I have a feeling growing up, our lives were very different.
Yeah.
How's
your life in
even
Boston?
different time frames, because before we started, I was just playing the band The Offspring from the 90s. And Ern looked at me like, what the hell are you listening to?
What are you playing? Yeah.
Yeah. That's what us 90s kids used to listen to. But I'm actually, so I say I'm from Boston. I'm originally from the state of Rhode Island in the U.S. I don't know if you know Rhode Island.
I've never heard of that.
It's the smallest state in the U.S., and it's between New York City and Boston. And then when I was 18, I went to university in Boston. So I moved to Boston, and then I was there from then on. After school, I got a regular office job. Eventually, I started a business. We do like nightlife events and concerts and things like that. And, I was just my life in Boston. I had a girlfriend, long-term girlfriend, nice apartment, had everything. But, after a while, I just felt like something's missing. And I really hate the cold weather. Boston gets very cold in the winter.
Yeah.
And I hate the cold weather. And after, like 6 or 7 or 8 years of doing this after school, I'm just burnt out from trying to work on my business, trying to grow it. It can be so stressful. And I just really wanted like something different. And so, I was kind of, this wasn't the reason I came here, but I was kind of getting to the end of a long relationship. And one morning I woke up and I looked out the window, and it was a November morning. And I should actually mention, I visited Thailand twice before for 1 week each time. And I loved it. And the only reason I came in the first place is just because I wanted to go someplace warm. And I went to like a travel show, and like every country had a booth, and the Thailand booth was really cool. And it was that. And then I saw a photo on Instagram of Ayutthaya, which is about an hour north of Bangkok, and it's the original capital of Thailand. And it's all temples, and I'm really nerdy about temples. I really like temples. So I'm like, I saw this photo of the temple, at sunrise, and I just thought like, oh, that's so amazing. I want to go there. And so at the time, my girlfriend and I made like a holiday trip here for a week.
Yeah.
And then I loved it so much, I came back for another week the following year. And we did the typical, travel around, go to Samui, go to Chiang Mai and other places like that. So we came 1 week 2017, 1 week 2018. And I remember at the end of the 2018 trip, I had a lot of kind of life-changing experiences. So I remember one morning, we didn't spend much time in Bangkok. We went other places in Thailand, but we were here in Bangkok for like 2 or 3 days. And one morning we met up with a guy that is like, I don't know what you call it, but he's like a temple boy, or he like helps the monks at the temple at Wat Po.
I also don't remember what they call in Thai. Oh, it's called Dek Wat.
Dek Wat. Oh, like temple kid.
Yeah, temple kid. Dek Wat.
He wasn't a kid. He was like...
Yeah, but we call Dek Wat in any age.
But he's like assists the monks and stuff like that. And so if you guys don't know, or maybe you've seen it and you don't know what's going on. If you've been to Thailand and you're out early in the morning, the monks will go out and walk barefoot through the community, and people will offer them food as like an offering, and the monks give a blessing.
Yeah.
What is this called in Thai?
What
would this process of...
it's called tak bat. Tak, it's mean like to take the food to the bat, the bintabat, the thing that keep the food.
Yeah, it's like the big bowl
for
thing.
The monk. Yeah, it's called tak bat.
Yeah, and so then the monks take the food back to the temple, and they split it up.
Do like sharing.
Yeah.
Because I think they can eat just one time per day.
I think
it's like late morning, like.
Yes. I think it may depend on if they're like a full, don't quote me on this, guys, but there's different levels of being a monk, I think. I think if you're a novice monk, then maybe you don't follow every rule yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're like a full-blown monk, you eat one time per day.
Yeah,
in the
usually
morning.
around like, I'm not sure, like 9 or 11, because every time when I do that, not just like, when they walk past your house, just also same in the temple, when you do tak bat, you do like pretty late, and then they eat like very late, because I think they have to follow the rules, like eat just one time. But for the, let's say, teenage monk, they may be like late night, let's have a little bit like some food. But actually you're not supposed to do that if you're become a monk.
I see. So we met up with this guy that worked at the temple at like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
He actually met us at our hotel. This was during my holiday trip to Thailand in 2018. And we went to the temple, and Wat Po is, I think those monks are, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but like they're the monks for like the royal palace maybe, or something like that. They're associated with that complex, something like that. I don't know.
Be.
I remember there was something special about those monks because their robes are bright orange, whereas a lot of the other ones are more of a dull orange-brown color.
Yeah.
So there's something about that. Anyway, so we met up at like 5 a.m. We go to the temple, and then we go out with like 2 or 3 of these monks and just walking through the street collecting food. And then we go back to the temple and we sit and we eat with them. And it was just a really, amazing experience. Like I go to this foreign country. These people don't have any idea who I am. And now I'm kind of in this, private place with them, experiencing what their life is like. So that was one big thing that like kind of opened my eyes. And then the other thing was I met up with a guy who took us through the Khlong Toei slum area. First we went to the market in the morning, the early morning, like 5 a.m, which that Khlong Toei market is like a wholesale wet market where a lot of the restaurants and food vendors in the city get their
from there.
Raw food. Yeah. So we got to seeing how people are up, working so hard. And then we went over to this slum area and we walked through, and he knew a lot of people that he kind of introduced us to. And it's kind of a really scary place, but the people were very friendly, even though they may look very, rough around the edges.
Yeah.
So we did that in the morning, and then at night we had dinner at the Lebua hotel, the restaurant up there on the roof, which was just, I I don't know if it's a Michelin star restaurant, but it's like fine dining, amazing
It's like
view.
the top, let's say like top 3,
Yeah, it's just
rooftop.
amazing experience. And I just couldn't believe that in the same day, I went from, I think that morning is the morning we went with the monks. Like I couldn't believe that morning I was, sharing food with monks.
Yeah.
And then at night I'm on this like, skyscraper roof bar overlooking the river and the view. It's like, wow, this is a really special place. And the next morning we got up early to go back to the airport. And I remember thinking like, I think I want to come back here and see what it's like to live here. Not as like a tourist when you're just in the hotel, but maybe come for an extended period of time. So that was in June of 2018. November of 2018, I wake up one morning in Boston. My relationship is coming to an end. I'm kind of sick of my regular life, just getting up and working every day. And I look out the window, and I actually, if you guys are sports fans, if you know baseball, I used to live right next to Fenway Park, which is a very famous baseball stadium in America. And it's funny because a lot of the girls wear the Boston Red Sox like shoes or shirt or whatever. They don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
But I used to live next to Fenway Park, and it was starting to snow. And I was thinking like, I can't do another year of this. Like I can't be depressed half the year, every year. I said, I got to change something in my life.
Even there's something like interesting around you, but it's not make you feel.
I didn't go out anymore. I didn't do anything for fun. Just work on my business. And I just needed a change. And at that point, I thought it's up to me to make a change. It's not going to magically happen. So I decided, okay, I'm going to do something crazy. And back then, guys, I don't think there was any TikTok. Instagram Reels, I don't think that was out yet. There was a little tiny bit of stuff on YouTube about Thailand, but not a lot. I think the main one was Lost LeBlanc. You probably don't know who that is, but I bet a lot of people out here will. Lost LeBlanc, and even then it was like very, basic GoPro videos. It wasn't like now the way people produce content. So there wasn't actually that much information. But I was just like, I'm going to do something crazy. And so that was mid-November, and I decided I'm going to go right after the first of the year. So I didn't want to tell my family though, because I thought they're going to kill me.
But like Thailand is like your first option when you decided that, okay, you cannot stay in
well, I wasn't planning
Boston
on moving
anymore.
Permanently. I thought I'm going to go for a month.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons I decided to go for a month and not like 2 weeks is because around that time, there was the new law about no Airbnbs, and they were enforcing it more at that time. But if you stayed for at least 28 days, it wasn't considered a short-term rental. So as long as you stayed for 4 weeks, you could do it, or it supposedly wouldn't be a problem. So I thought, okay, I'll just go for 4 weeks. I figured out basically, I mean, believe it or not, I spent the same amount of money flying to the other side of the world and spending a month here as I would in Boston, because the cost of living in Boston is just so high, like food, transportation, everything.
Yeah.
So just by being here, I saved a lot. So I planned on coming the first week of January. Christmas dinner, so the end of December, my family is all there for Christmas. And I said, I have an announcement to make. And then I said, I'm going to Thailand. And then they all started laughing. They thought I was joking. I was like, no, I'm serious. And then my family almost disowned me. They were so angry. They just want me to stay in Boston and like settle down and, buy a house and have like a white fence outside.
They didn't think that you just go for travel, or you announce like, make it like, this is serious. I'm going for a long term, like.
I'm the kind of person that likes new experiences, likes to just explore.
Yeah.
They don't like that. They want me to just be in an office in a cubicle, 9 to 5, go home, have a dog. Yeah, that's it. So whatever. So I got on the flight. I got on the flight first week of January, and I was off to Thailand.
Alone? No friends?
Oh yeah, alone. Oh, that's another crazy thing. At that time, like, that was kind of a crazy, for me, that was not typical. But I don't know what, I just decided I wanted to do something crazy. So I got on the plane and I went. What's up, guys? If you are coming to Thailand this year, if you are traveling overseas, you know it's not always easy going to a foreign country. You've got to spend a lot of time on flights, traveling. You don't always know where you're going. You don't speak the language. And worst of all, once you get through immigration, you get your bags, the last thing you want to do is wait in line for a SIM card at the airport. But I want to tell you guys about something that's going to make your trip a lot easier, and that is an eSIM from Saily. Saily is an eSIM you can get ahead of time. You can pick your plan. They're available in over 190 countries and 8 regions, and you can even activate the plan ahead of time. So as soon as you touch down in Bangkok, you are ready to explore the city, and you don't have to spend a second waiting in line at the SIM card counter at the airport. Best of all, there is 24-hour customer service, a 30-day money-back guarantee, and it's powered by the people at NordVPN, so you don't have to worry about any security threats. If you want to try Saily, check out the link below, saily.com/Bangkok, or download their app and use code Bangkok for an exclusive 15% discount. Try it out at the link below. Let me know what you think. Now, let's get back to the episode. So, for you, did you always know you were going to go to Bangkok? Was that always part of the plan?
Well, yes, because it started from I studied in the high school like 6 years, right? And then like the last 3 years before I moved to Bangkok, I studied in English German program. And I think I kind of have like some language skill and stuff. And I think I want to get more opportunity about work in the future. And then it started from when I started to apply for a job in my hometown. And even I speak good English. The money that they offer is not that good. Or even I try to find a job, it's always show up Bangkok, Bangkok, and Bangkok. So I think, well, maybe it's my plan. It's more opportunity. I don't know what I'm going to get here in Bangkok, but I just feel like at least I can see that there are so many hiring posts on the Facebook group, but mainly in Bangkok. So I think maybe I should come here. So that's always my plan. And when I graduated from the high school, when I sent a portfolio to the university to apply just to study, I applied just only in Bangkok. Just one university, only one university, and I got it it had like 5 rounds for the university process, and I just like send my portfolio, do the activities, and see my GPA and make the interview, and then I got it. I don't even take any exam because I don't want to read a book. I think like all the activities that I've been doing for 6 years, it's quite enough that they're gonna accept me to study in their university. So yeah, and I think it's also the right choice for me because the more that I live here, the more I have like the new attitude, new friends, new connections. And when I go back to my hometown, when I ask the people about their life, and then when we exchange how life we have, like how is the life we have, is different. So I think it's the right choice.
Do most people in Isan, when they're young, always think like their dream is to go to Bangkok, or not everybody?
I think not everybody. For, let's say, my family, it's not like that poor, but it's not that rich. It's like in the middle class. So I think I can see some opportunity. But for the people that are very poor, they're just like, they don't have even the money to study, just to afford the study, the university. They have to maybe study where the closest their home, and then they can work some extra job. So not everybody. But I think it's also about like maybe some poor family, they don't even have the laptop, they don't even have the internet. I have some friends. I used to work in a part-time job in my hometown, and they have just their phone and like, just put the money in their phone just to call. But they don't even have the internet. So I think if they cannot access to all the knowledge or to see or to explore that there's a lot of opportunity outside of our hometown, they may be not interested to work in Bangkok. Or maybe if they even come to Bangkok, they may be just want to do a like very simple job, wash the dishes or be a maid, and that's what they can think of. So not everybody. I think it's for the people who get access to know that what we have in Bangkok. But if they don't have the internet, they don't have money, so they have no idea what is Bangkok.
So you went to university here. Okay. And while you're in university, where are you living? What is it like?
Actually, the first year, it had what is called. It has 2 campus for my university. The first campus is in Rangsit, Nakhon Nayok, which is maybe an hour far from Bangkok, and the second campus is here in Asok, Bangkok. So the first year, the freshman, I have to live in the dorm. Very pretty countryside and has the temple. You will. I heard the monk pray every night or every time they have the funeral. I always heard that thing. But in the back of the university, also have the rice field and also have the bar, which is like local bar. So that's what I got for the first year. And then the second year is I have to move to Bangkok. So I live in La Prao area. Yeah, I need to use MRT every day. At first, I was so nervous. I don't know like how to use the MRT. I call my aunt. Every hour is like, okay, now I stop at this exit. Which way I have to go? Turn left or turn right? I ask everything. Everywhere I go, I always Google it. But now I'm just like an expert. I think it's safe and it's easier than my hometown. It's much easier.
When I was coming here, my plan was to come for a month, and I didn't know where to stay because I didn't really know anything about Bangkok.
Yeah.
And I had a friend of a friend who said, "Oh, you should stay in Thong Lo," which I said, "Okay, I don't know." So I went on Airbnb. I found a place that looked good, and I just like fell in love with the apartment. The landlord was a great guy, easy to deal with. The location, it was right next to the BTS. I was thinking like, this is unbelievable compared to, where I was coming from. I just walk outside every day, get street food, ride the BTS all over the city. I really didn't have a plan when I was here. I was just working on my computer, but I figured I would stay the month and then go back, and then that would be it.
Just a month?
It was just a month. I just wanted like something to.
Did you remember how much you paid that time? Because I think Airbnb, it's much higher than usual rental.
I think honestly that unit I probably paid about 34,000 baht, which
for a month, right?
Yeah, for 1 month rental.
I see.
think now if you wanted that same unit, it probably would be like 40,000 baht. I think if you did a year contract, you could probably get it for 30,000.
Yeah, because usually they let you do the 6-month contract or a year contract.
Well,
but if less than that, you have to use Airbnb.
What's crazy was, so I got along with the guy well, and then I ended up extending my stay by like 2 or 2.5 weeks, because one day I was on like I was in a Facebook group, and some woman posted like, "Hey, I found all these cats that they're not in good condition. I'm trying to help them and get them adopted." And I'm like a big cat lover. And so I thought, I want to go, let me just go see them. I told the woman, I want to come see, but I'm not going to take them, but I just want to come see what's going on. And when I went, there were a bunch of cats in the cage, and the Thai cats are so beautiful. Like, maybe you're used to it here. I feel like Thai people don't like them.
Why you say that it's beautiful? Is that different from
the cats? They look
cats
different. They've got like blue eyes. They just look very different. But I find that most Thai people, they don't really like them. They like an import cat or something. Yeah. But we saw one today, but that guy had a Thai cat. Yeah. So but I usually don't see that. Anyway, so I go to this lot, and it So this woman, she lived across the street, but there was like a lot where a motorbike taxi driver lived, and he didn't really even have a house. I don't know what I'd call it. It was, I don't want to sound a certain way, but it was basically a shack. It was just made out of like metal, like roof, and you know what I mean? Something like that. And these cats were just living on it. And so she got the cats and put them in a cage so they wouldn't run away. And they were sick, and she was feeding them, but they were out in the sun and the pollution. It was January. So actually it was about 6 years ago, like this week, that this happened. And so when I went up to the cage of cats, they all kind of backed away. They were scared, except for one cat. And he looked at me, and they were so little. They were just like little kittens. And so I said, "Hey, can I see him?" And she said, "No, I don't want to open the cage because he'll run away and blah, blah." I said, "No, it'll be okay." So she opened the cage, and he just went like right into my arms.
Hug you.
And I'm thinking like, oh no, like I can't put this poor thing back in the cage. Like his eyes were blue, and they had like gunk in it because he's sick.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like I can't put him back. And so I'm just thinking like, okay, like, guess you're coming with me. And so I told her like, okay, I'm going to take him. And so I took him to the vet, and even the vet told me, oh, her exact words were, "This one is not going to be good for you." Like, meaning he's just going to be sick, and he might not even live very long. Mm-hmm. And because a lot of street cats, they have like a sickness or like cat flu or something. But they tested him, and he didn't have any like fatal diseases, but he did have a respiratory issue. And because of that, some teeth were rotting. And so the first like 2 days, like he had some surgery. I got him surgery to have the teeth out and whatever. And he was just like as big as my phone when I got him, like this. And of course, there's no cats allowed in my Airbnb. So I had to sneak him in and do that whole thing. And then the only problem was I planned to take him back to the US. Because remember, at this time, I'm not moving here to live here. I'm just here for a month. But in order to take him back to the US, you need to get an export permit. And in order to do that, there's certain requirements. And one of them was they have to have a rabies vaccine for a certain amount of time. I think it's 30 days. They have to have the rabies vaccine and then wait 30 days.
So you have to
extend. But I don't have enough time for that. And the other thing was the vet said that she doesn't want to give him the vaccines yet because he's still recovering. So basically, we got him the surgery and everything, and he got better for a week or two. And then she gave him the vaccines and basically just marked, backdated she lied on the form. So the vet ended up giving him the rabies vaccine, and then she backdated it. She lied on the form so that I could,
take
him.
Took the cat back to the US?
I had to take him to the airport, and they have like an animal, I don't know what you call it, like a whatever. They have the airport, the government has a vet there, and they do like an inspection to make sure he's healthy. I think you pay a 400 baht fee for the export permit, and then he went with me.
Just fly, but you do the cats had to ticket flight?
So you have to pay extra. So I was flying on Japan Airlines, and they can't fly in the cabin. They have to fly under. And everybody was like, this little cat is not going to survive a flight to the other side of the world. And I just told him well, if he doesn't come with me, he's just going to die out here anyway. So better to just take him.
Yeah.
And that was it. Took him all the way to Boston. He came out the conveyor belt at the airport in Boston. I had like a big cage, and he was just this little cat in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have another cat already in Boston. Mm-hmm. So it was
in Boston. Do they have the street cats, stuff like that?
Not really. No.
Not really.
No.
Not like in Thailand. You can see street cats and dogs everywhere.
No, because people will take them to like a shelter or something. Yeah. Okay. So for you now, what year is this that you are finishing university?
I actually don't remember. University 2 years ago. 2020.
Okay, so not that long ago.
Yeah. a year or 2 years ago. I don't remember actually.
So when you were in university, were you going out to like bars in Bangkok and stuff like that, or not really?
No. I actually, for the first year, I just went to the bar and started to drink alcohol for the first time. And I went crazy, just mukata. And then the next is like bar, but nothing like fancy. Because in like, country, let's say it seemed like countryside in the first campus that I study, the dorm. And I need to ride my motorbike. And sometimes my friends even like rent my motorbike just to go to the back, in the back of the university, because there's a bar, and it's very dark with a rice field, and then just very small spot for the bar. And once I moved to Bangkok, I don't really party. I'm kind of nerd. Just study and then go home, study and go home, and do lots of activities in university. But yeah, and also the bad part is, in my second year and third year in university, it's during the COVID pandemic.
Oh.
So I studied in a tourism and hotel major. And what do? Actually, I need to make a tour, that maybe capacity like 20 people and make a real tour.
Wait, that was your thing? You had to make a tour?
I need to make a tour. I need to do like a training in the hotel as a maid also, and as a receptionist, do the whole thing about the hospitality, the hotel, and also the tour. But during these 2 years, which is the very important years, it's COVID and I cannot do anything. I need to learn everything from Zoom. I even learned how to do the cocktails, but Zoom. My teacher, my professor told me to buy this, buy that, all the thing, and then I check it and do the Zoom, and then like, can you see it? I put this ingredient, do everything in my room. It sucks for me, and I feel like I waste my time, a lot of money, because I hope I'm gonna get some real experiences before I.
So this is like 2022.
Yeah, around. Yeah.
Okay, 2021 or 2022.
Yeah. And then I just got a chance to back to normal again in the last year, and maybe 2-3 months left. And yeah, I was a trainee at the Hilton Sukhumvit, the hotel, as a receptionist in the executive lounge, take care of the VIP guests. So that's also a good experience for me, because now it's real life, it's real work experience, and I love it. Yeah. But also it's made me realize that I'm not going to work in that job anymore. But it's good that you try to work in the real situation, not from the Zoom.
Well, it must have been weird, coming to Bangkok in the middle of this whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
Because when I came, it was before this. Like, life was normal.
Yeah.
There wasn't any of this kind of thing going on. So I actually came to Bangkok before you. Because I came in 2019 and you must have come a year or two after that.
Yeah.
So I had gone back to Boston with my cat after 6 weeks in Bangkok. And by the way, in those 6 weeks, I had more incredible experiences. I met so many people. Like, I came to a city. I didn't know anyone. I didn't know anything. The first day I was here, I tried to get a BTS card. I didn't know how to do that. Like, I didn't know anything. And I can't stress enough, like, at that time, there was so little information. There was no, like, oh, you open up YouTube and you search whatever, and then it just pops up. Like, there were very few people doing stuff like that. So I go back to Boston, and the first day I'm back in Boston, I'm walking by Fenway Park again, and it's snowing, and it's in February, and I'm thinking, like, I can't do this. Like, I was trying to be honest with myself, like, this is not for me. And I remember thinking, I don't know how, but I'm going to get back to Thailand. And then about 4 weeks later, actually, no, you know what it was? It was 6 weeks later, because it was April Fool's Day. It was April 1st. I was back on the plane and back to Thailand. And it was weird, because when I was here, I was living out of a suitcase, and I was actually the happiest I'd ever been. And when I went back to my nice apartment in Boston and whatever, I had all this stuff, all these possessions, and it made me feel weird that I had all these things. And I just thought I don't need it. And so I started selling like one item a day on Facebook Marketplace or on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
I had like a spreadsheet. Every day I'd sell something. I sold, like this stereo and this extra computer monitor and this guitar amp, like just all kinds of random things.
Yeah. But that time, did you bring this kind of stuff like for the studio?
So I was really into photography and stuff. And so I brought my camera and my 1 or 2 cameras and a bunch of lenses. But I didn't have all these lights and everything. I just had, in fact, I probably did the most like photos in Thailand my first few months here. So I was like, I have to go back. So I started selling all my stuff. And then 6 weeks later, April 1st, I'm back on the plane. And I have no plan. I just thought, okay, I'm going to go for another month. And this is how it happens, guys. Like you go, you're not planning to move here. You just go for a trip. You have a good experience. Maybe you go back and then you slowly get sucked in until you realize you can't escape it. This happens to so many people.
So every time it's just a month and you still work remotely?
Well, I said it was supposed to be a month. Again,
right.
It didn't end up being a month. But yeah, so my work is pretty seasonal. Like certain months it's busy and certain months it's not. So I figured I'll go for this month and then I'll come back and then I'll do my work and then, whatever. So when I went the second time, I didn't tell my parents because I knew they would kill me again. But I knew I had to tell someone. So I told my ex-girlfriend just so someone knew where I was. So in case I end up, gone missing, someone knows where I was.
Okay.
So I got on the plane. What I didn't know is when I got on the plane, you have to turn your phone off, right? My mother must have called me just coincidentally, like right after I got on the plane. And it went straight to voicemail. And she thought that was really weird. So she called me back a few hours later, no answer. So then for like it takes a long time to fly from Boston, like more than 24 hours.
Yeah. So
she couldn't reach me. So she started getting worried and she called my ex-girlfriend and was like, do you know where Eric is? And, I don't blame my ex-girlfriend. She's so nice. She was like, no. But my mother knew.
Because you told her that don't tell your parents, right?
But my mother knew something was going on.
Yeah.
So I get off the plane and I have like 17 missed calls.
Wow.
And my parents are like calling me like, where are you? Are you okay? And so I called my parents back and they're like, where are you? And I said, Bangkok. And then they started laughing. And I'm thinking, why are they laughing? And I'm like, oh, it's April Fool's Day.
Oh.
And they think it's a joke. And I'm like, so they start laughing. I say Bangkok, they're laughing. And then I'm like, ha 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 ha, and then like the laughter dies and they're like, where are you really? Bangkok.
You sent the pictures and
they're like, what? Like they couldn't believe, not once now, but twice, I just got on a plane and went. And they wanted to kill me. Like they didn't talk to me for a while after this. They were very angry.
I thought like you can just like tell them and they cannot force you anyway, right? If you told them, you're gonna go anyway. So.
But you have to understand from their point of view, like what it's like here.
Yeah. From
their point of view, they thought I was going to like imagine if you told your parents you're going to Ukraine right now.
Oh,
that's how they.
But Thailand is not the point of view of Thailand is not like Ukraine.
But
so what
they
do
only
you know
see
what
Thailand
they think
in
about
movies with
Thailand?
Like people,
girls bar.
No, not even that. I think they just think it's very dangerous. There's like underground crime syndicates and like there's elephants running in the street and they really have no idea what it's like here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, yeah. So, but on this trip, I mean, this is where I really got like deeper into what it's really like living here. I already had friends from the first 6 weeks I was here. Yeah. I met so many people. And I wondered, why did I meet so many, especially because I'm really an introverted person. I know it might not always seem that way because we do this whole podcast thing, but in reality, I'm really an introverted person. And I thought, like, why was it so easy to meet like so many interesting people and make new friends and things like that? And I think there's something special about this place where people from all over the world, like, you need to be a certain kind of person to leave your hometown, fly to the other side of the world to a place that has a foreign language, everything is different, the religion is different, the culture is different, and be like, this is my new home. And I think people like that come here, no matter what, they at least have that in common. And I think that connects a lot of foreigners that come here.
But how did you meet all the people? You said that you met a lot
of different ways.
Just like through, like while you on the, like working on the laptop?
One guy I met through Facebook because he was looking for someone to go like take photos in different places. And a lot through photography. Like you met Jessica that was on this podcast. I think she made a post on Facebook saying she wanted to go do like a photo shoot in the flower market. And I replied saying, oh, I want to do that too. So that's how I met her. And then I think Cherry, who was also on this podcast.
Yeah.
I think she posted on like a YouTube group something about, she was starting a YouTube channel at that time. And I was also trying to start a YouTube channel. Not this one.
Yeah.
A different one. And so we kind of had that in common and just all different kinds of ways like that. So, and even just going to the bar, like I went to, a bar to play pool or hang out and you just meet people.
Right.
So, and at this time, like I know sometimes people come here or I was going to say I've heard, but sometimes people come here because maybe they want to meet a Thai girl or something like that.
That's normal.
Basic. I didn't think anything about that. Like the point of this whole trip was just for me to find myself. Like, you know what I mean? It was just
try things and try to figure out like what you're going to do here, right?
Yeah. And I never went to like nightclubs or like I never went to Soy Cowboy or anything like that.
What is the first place that you went for the nightlife?
Sing Sing Theater.
Sing Sing?
Someone invited me. They said, I'm going here. You want to come?
Oh, someone?
And I said, where is that? And I looked it up on Google Maps and it was across the street from my condo. And I was like, all right, I guess I can go.
Yeah.
So, and then through that person, I met other people. So this is just kind of how it was.
Yeah, actually for me about the party thing, I just started to real party after the COVID pandemic. And it's not done yet. It's still like, it shouldn't open some bars or some club. I think some bar that shouldn't open. But that time there's a bar. I think it's Juicy right now.
Juicy, yeah.
Yeah, that's my first party nightlife thing in Bangkok. I was there with my friend. And then, yes, of course, some guys invite us to let's hop on the tuk-tuk, and then we go somewhere next. And yeah, I ended up in some late night party spot.
Where was that late night party spot?
Around in Soy Cowboy.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, that time, I don't know that it's
You didn't see any handsome guys from Boston in that late night party spot, did you?
Did you go there?
I'm asking you.
I don't know. I cannot see anything. I don't even remember like where I was. What was my friend and that guy, and then just like, okay, it's kind of cool, kind of fun. But after a few days later, I got COVID. I got Omicron. And then I have to...
Wait, you got what?
Omicron. And then I have to do the home isolation. And then at that time, we can just register and do the home isolation. We don't need to go to the hospital and, it depends.
Well, it's interesting how our experiences are really different because still in my story, this is all before COVID. And there's a lot, there are foreigners around, but not that many. And if there are, they're kind of concentrated in certain areas.
Yeah.
So, when I came back here, it was April, supposed to be just for the month. And then like halfway through, I was like, I met some other people and we made some plans. And I was like, you know what? F it. I'm staying an extra month.
Mm-hmm.
So I made that call home. I'm like, I'm not coming. And so I just stayed an extra month. And then I really had to go back because, I had to work and I had to do all this. But when I went back, I was thinking like, okay, this is going to be a thing. So I
Yeah.
better start to figure it out. And it was from that time that I slowly started making changes so that I could live here full time. So basically that year, and then that year I ended up coming back in November. And so I was here in Thailand for like 4 or 5 months out of the year. The following year was COVID though. And I thought I was here when it all started. And I thought it would just be like a month or two thing and then we'll be done. And I actually had just met a girl too, like a few weeks before it got bad. And it was kind of this weird thing because we're like, well, I don't know what to do. I guess I should go back to the US. I didn't know if they would shut down the airport or what they would do. So I booked a ticket and the flight got canceled. And I booked another one and that flight got canceled. And so this kept happening. And after the fourth time, I said like, hey, if this last one, if the fifth ticket gets canceled, I'm not going back. But I was just trying to do the right thing because I have the business in Boston and I had some things coming up I needed to be there for. And I was afraid if I didn't go back now in March, it would be too late later. Because at that time also, the COVID pandemic situation wasn't really a big thing in the US. It was only really here in Asia.
Which year?
This was March of 2020. It was getting, because
It just started, right?
Thailand was the first country to have cases outside of China. So it kind of, the panic kind of started here first, but back in the US, people just thought it was just this Asian flu thing. Like they, you know,
Yeah.
so I went back to the US and the day after I got back to the US, the whole thing exploded there and they shut everything down. And then what's worse is like all my business stuff got canceled. I couldn't come back to Thailand because you only could come back if you had like certain visas. I think even if you had an elite visa, you couldn't come back. So I was stuck there. I was stranded there.
Just stay there and the business is not working well at that time.
Well, everything is canceled.
Cancel.
And so this is the worst possible situation for me because, you know, I'd already at this time been in Thailand now, like it's been like a year and a half or something. You know, I started to lose a lot of my friends and relationships in America because I was spending my time here. But now I'm stuck in America. I have nowhere to live. I even sold my car. I didn't have a car. I bought a car right when I went back. So I had to like sublet a room and I was basically locked in this shitty room. And I thought, okay, it'll be like 3 months. And then it just kept going longer and longer and longer.
Yeah.
And then it looked like Vietnam would open first. So I was planning to go to Vietnam. So I'm like, I have to get out of here.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen either. And the worst part was I didn't know how long it would be until they finally opened the visas again. And it was until November. So I had like almost given up hope at that point. I went back in March. Now it's November. It's getting cold again in Boston. And I saw some announcement pop up on my screen and I applied for the visa that moment. And then I was on probably one of the first planes back to Thailand once they reopened for tourism. And when I came back, I had to do the 2-week quarantine thing.
In Thailand, right?
In Thailand. In
the hotel.
Now by this point, my parents know I'm completely out of my mind. Like now it's not a surprise. Now I just tell them, hey, I'm going. And now it's even worse because they think of like the COVID thing as it came from Asia and all this and it's dangerous.
They freaked out like, why you go there?
And then I told them I'm going to get locked up in a hotel for 2 weeks and they thought that was crazy. I'm like, it did not matter to me. I just wanted to be back here. So I came back here. I did the 2-week quarantine, which was, honestly, it was really difficult. Like being locked in a room for 2 weeks. And once I got out, I thought, all right, now we're in business. And the only thing on my mind was like, how can I make adjustments to my life so that I can be here full time? It wasn't like, I think now it's different. A lot of people have this, it's a thing like, oh, moving to Southeast Asia, and people plan for it. Like they save a certain amount of money, they start a remote job, they do this, and then they go. I did not do any of that. I just came here, I got a cat, I went, I came back. It was a complete mess. It was total mess. It's not the way I would suggest doing things. And I've just kind of been figuring it out for the last few years. And basically for the last 5 or 6 years, I spent more and more time here. So it might have been like 5 months the first year, 6 months the second year, 7 months the third year. So now I'll go back to the US like 4 weeks out of the year just to do some business stuff and then be back here. But now I try to be here like full time.
That time, did you get like vaccinated? Do they require when you do?
Yeah,
before you come to Thailand and you need to quarantine for 2 weeks.
They did require the vaccination, or I think there might have been an option to come without a vaccination, but you had to stay longer or something. But and now you're seeing we're gonna get into the politics of it.
Really?
So I didn't want to get vaccinated right away, at least. I wanted to see what would happen, but my business was working with a nightclub, and they would not allow us to do events unless all of us were vaccinated. And that put us in a really hard position because I have no income. Like I basically, for that first year during COVID, I made $0. Everything was it was so bad. Not only did I not make any money, I still had a lot of business expenses I had to pay for, and also rent and everything else. So it was a really, really difficult time. And now they're telling me I can't do business with them unless I'm vaccinated. So
you have to get it?
So I did it. Yeah.
Actually, I got the first one is AstraZeneca, and then the second one is Pfizer.
Yeah.
And after that, not even a month, I got COVID after the vaccination. So it's kind of like, well, why I got that? But like, you know, everybody, my family just pushed me, you have to go get vaccinated. I was like, okay, you know. So like during a whole year that I was at home, I don't get COVID. But after I got the vaccination,
I don't want
I got COVID.
I don't
know that, is it work or I don't know, just okay, forget about it. I already took it.
I don't want to spread any misinformation, but I may have had some bad effect from after the vaccine that are still going on.
Really?
Yeah. But it's funny because when I talk to doctors about it, they're almost afraid to say it out loud.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think
I don't want to say it on here because then the YouTube and the whole
tell
thing.
Tell me later.
No, it's not like private, but I just don't want on YouTube. Sometimes they don't like when you misinformation. So
I see.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's how I ended up here. That's how I've been here. If you ask me why I came here, or like why did I come here and then why did I stay here? I originally came here just as an escape, as a reset button, because I needed to change something in my life. I just wanted to get away, to be on my own, to start over, go someplace that nobody knew me. Why did I stay here? Because I love the country, I love the weather, I love the people, I love the big city. All the creative people from all over the world come here, and it's a very unique place. It's a very unique place in the world, and it's a very unique time for Thailand. It's both of those things at once. So if you guys have had a similar experience coming here, if you just showed up one day and thought, oh, I'm never going to leave, tell us your story in the comments below, because I have a feeling a lot of your situations are similar. Yeah. I think a lot of, especially young Thai women, have a similar story.
Yeah, for study, for work, and just experience thing. But let's say the people who think that I was an extremely party girl, I party a lot. Actually, I just started to party after the COVID. It's like 2022, after like, let's say February 2022. I just started that year. It's not that long. So yeah, I'm not that like.
I'm not gonna say anything. If you guys are coming to Thailand soon, if you want to move here to Bangkok, if you want to experience this amazing city, drop us a comment below and let us know what your plans are. Hit the subscribe button, follow us on Apple and Spotify podcasts. If you enjoyed this episode and sharing our story, buy us a coffee. We appreciate all the support, and we'll see you in the next episode.